You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. So I have beaten anorexia. Today is National Sourdough Bread Day. And, I can go for sourdough bread. Cut a chunk of that off there, put a nice hunk of butter on it. Of course, butter goes good with anything. Butter's kind of like bacon, right? You can put butter with almost anything and it's better. Bacon, you put that almost anything. Take that sourdough. In fact, I'm thinking about this right now. Take that sourdough loaf that Josh was just showing us the picture of, if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, and hollow that out and put some white clam chowder, New England clam chowder in that. Nice and thick. What do you think? I like that idea. Let's see what else we've got going on today. I don't celebrate this one anymore. I used to be a big I still am a big prankster. Ironically enough, I don't know. I wouldn't say the joke was on me, but April 1st, lost my mom on April 1st. So I don't really do much in the way of April Fool's jokes anymore, at least not on the 1st of April, but maybe other days we can do some of those things. I think it's National 1 Cent Day. We're getting rid of pennies. What do we need 1 cent for? So I think that one's going to go away. That one we're going to have to dump the 1 cent day. I think it's National Fun Day. And move right along. Let's see what else is going on that's a little more interesting than these things today. The markets, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 99.5 points. The S&P 500 is up 31. The NASDAQ, finally, it's up 172. Oil down 13 cents a barrel. And let's see if we can find out if my screen will move. Well, I guess it doesn't want to move. We can see what the rates are doing. Let's see it. Big talk. There's a lot of news coming up this week. And that's why we're watching. There's so much to really watch what's going on, because the 10-year Treasury now is down 5 basis points at 4.16. The news of the week, well, tomorrow is tariffs and Friday is the BS report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And the markets always watch that BS report. But I guess, we'll see what's going on there. There is a little breaking news here. Does anybody really care? So Tim Walz, remember Tim Walz? So yes, he is the governor of Minnesota. And he was a former candidate for vice president. His daughter now out on the campaign trail with him. I don't know what she's campaigning for, but she's putting off grad school due to the school's lack of support for protesters. Now, can I ask one simple question? Does anybody care? It's her life. She doesn't want to go to, I don't even care if she doesn't go to grad school, right? I mean, it's, doesn't matter, but it catches the news. And I just get fascinated by some of these things in the news. It's like, all these protesters that are out there. Did you see on Sunday, I think it was, the National Tesla protest? Now, let's just scratch our head just a little bit and think about this. The protest is that Elon Musk is doing what he's doing, whatever that is, and he's working for the president. And the protesters are upset about that. Okay, so they want to boycott Tesla cars. Now, Elon Musk owns 12.8% of Tesla, the company, the stock. That means there's about 87% of the stock is held by others. A lot of it by I know the Minnesota employee union owns a lot of that stock. So they're protesting the stock of a company that they own. I'm sure that the California Teachers Union or the California State Employees Union, SEIU, I'm sure they own a lot of Tesla also because it's been a great stock. So the protest is actually hurting their membership. This doesn't make any sense. And these are educators. Now, think about this concept. I don't know about you, but I can tell you this with 100% certainty. Elon Musk has more money than I do. Now, he may not have as much as you, but he just sold or spun off. He bought Twitter for $44 billion. Now he just sold it to one of his companies for $33 billion. So not only does he put $33 billion in his pocket, but he gets an $11 billion tax write-off for the loss. And these people think that them not buying a Tesla car is going to matter. You just laugh at some people sometimes because the logic in these protests, well, I shouldn't say that because there's got to be a different word for it because there is no logic in the protests. And then you look and say, okay, with gas prices, okay, in California, the Californians are saying they're going to get rid of the Teslas. $4.85 a gallon for gasoline in California. The smart people, well, look at Josh over there in Vegas laughing at me. Your gas prices are up, right? So probably about $3.50 a gallon now. Right around? Okay, so they were at $3.30 not too long ago. The national average is $3.20. And here in California, we're the suckers paying $4.85 a gallon. And you wonder why so many Teslas are on the street. And I live in Orange County, California. I go down to the beach, 3 or 4 times a week. I'm down in the beach area. And I mean, at least half the cars you see on the street are Teslas. I don't know, a good portion of the other ones are Bentleys, but that's a whole different story, right? But Teslas. And you got these people that are complaining about Tesla. It just baffles me when we sit there and look at these gas prices and where we're going and what's happening in some of these issues. But hey, you know something? I think I know I had it on my board somewhere here, but I got to figure out why I'm not finding it again. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Who cares about these different protests? The one that I really follow are the idiots that are protesting what's going on in Gaza. And I have a cousin of mine that said to me I should watch 60 Minutes. I said, why? Why would I ever want to watch 60 Minutes?
What are you doing?
But last Sunday they had a hostage on the show, one of the released hostages from Gaza. Fascinating show watching that and listening to his story. And you wonder about some of these things and you wonder, okay, are they, if the people that are, and this gentleman, wants to have the hostages released. Everybody does. But at what cost? Trading today's hostages for tomorrow's? You let out 10 or more of the people that the criminal terrorists in Israel for every hostage released. Well, those terrorists are going back to kill and terrorize more people. What does a terrorist do? They terrorize. But if you didn't see that 60 Minutes piece, it was quite fascinating. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, got a great broadcast lined up for you today. Of course, I say that every day. What a recession could mean for housing. We'll talk about it. Fix your credit errors, boost home buying power now. We'll talk about that. Social Security under pressure, not what you think. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564. Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates, with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number you need to put in your mortgage calculator to find out what your principal and interest payment will be. Don't have a mortgage calculator? Why not? Get it for free. Just download our mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. Rates yesterday, latest data that we have available. Conventional 30-year fix down 6.6%. Jumbo 30-year fix 6.729. That was down. FHA 30-year fix 6.269. That was down. VA 30-year fix 6.125 down. USDA 30-year fix 6.306 down. It was a clean sweep. Kind of like those clean sweeps right there. Every one of them were down yesterday. You want our thoughts about the market each and every business day morning as early as the data allows. rsrlinks.com/market minute. rsrlinks.com/market minute. As we speak right now, the S&P 500 is up 31 points. Let's take a look and see. The 10-year Treasury down 5 basis points, 4.17. Mortgage-backed securities, that bond is up 12 basis points. Bond up, rates down. And I'm going to tell you, I believe that rates are going to continue dropping. It's not going to be a straight line. But based on some reports that we got from some of our friends who had a conversation with our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, over the weekend, we're going to see some of these numbers going down. And he's expecting the 10-year Treasury to go to 3.9, which would portend to about a little under a 6% mortgage rate, maybe in the high fives. So think about that concept right there. That's why we've put out our new tool where we can make sure that you're mortgage ready. If you want access to the tool, just give us a call. Send a DM or an email or a smoke signal. Just send the word Sora to us. If you're emailing, it's rj@ronsiegelradio.com. rj@ronsiegelradio.com. Eventually, I'll figure these things out. You can send that off, and we'll get you an invitation to this tool. And you just put a little bit of information in there, and it does all the rest for you to make sure that you're mortgage ready, that your credit scores are in the right spot, the whole 9 yards. Let's see what's driving interest rates today. We've got the JOLTS report. Showed the job openings fell from 7.76 to 7.57, lower than the 7.63 expected. We continue to see a trend of small numbers of job openings, even though we know the actual figure is likely much lower due to double counting from work from anywhere and fake postings to make a business appear stronger. Looking at the components, the quits rate remained at 2% after being revised lower from 2.1 to 2% in the previous report. It's still near some of the lowest levels since 2015, excluding COVID, of course. This shows weakness in the labor market, as a lower quit rate means less people feel confident about getting a new job and less poaching and hiring from other companies. The hire rate remained at 3.4%, which is close to the lowest level since 2013 when, again, removing COVID. Revisions to hires in 2024 were negative every month except for July. ISM Manufacturing Index was reported at 49, which was lower than estimates of 49.5, and a move lower from the previous reading of 50.3. The unemployment component was very weak, dropping from 47.6 to 44.7, firmly in contraction. Of the 18 industries surveyed, only one had an increase in employment, with the rest either remaining stagnant or declining. New orders were also very weak, dropping from 48.6 to 45.2. The one negative was prices paid, which is an inflationary measure, which rose from 62.4 to 69.4, and mostly due to tariffs. Again, the big news for tomorrow, it will be the ADP employment report, where the market is anticipating that 105,000 jobs were created in March. But this keeps getting revised lower and lower. We've also got the tariffs coming out tomorrow, or they say they're going to come out tomorrow. That'll also be a market-moving number. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. As you know, Ron Siegel Radio is the show where we're dedicated to empowering you with the knowledge and tools you need to achieve your financial dreams. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned homeowner, or planning for a secure retirement, we're here to guide you Today we're diving deep into a topic that affects countless individuals: credit report errors. Now, I've heard it all day in, day out. Our listeners have the same frustration. I hear it. Ron, there's something wrong on my credit report and it's killing my chances of getting a good mortgage rate. Or, Ron, I just want to buy my first home, but these errors are holding me back. And let me tell you, you're not alone. The number one question I get, the absolute top concern is, how do I remove inaccurate negative items from my credit report? And that's exactly what we're going to tackle today. Look, your credit report is your financial resume. It's what lenders look at to determine your credit worthiness. And if that resume is filled with errors, it's like trying to get a job with a resume full of typos and false information. It's just not going to work. These inaccuracies can range from simple things like a misspelled name or incorrect address to serious errors like accounts that don't belong to you, payments that were marked late when they're on time, or even worse, accounts that were a result of identity theft. Imagine you've been working hard, saving for that dream home, finally ready to take the plunge. You apply for a mortgage and boom, denied, or offered a sky-high interest rate. You pull your credit report. Of course, you're going to go to rsrlinks.com/FICO, rsrlinks.com/FICO. A collection account you've never heard of, a late payment on a credit card you paid on time, or an old account that was closed years ago, but is still showing as open. It's infuriating, right? You feel helpless, feel like your financial future is being held hostage by someone else's mistake. And the worst part is, these errors can linger for years, impacting your ability to get a mortgage, rent an apartment, or even get a job. So what do you do? First and foremost, you need to understand that you have rights. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, gives you the right to dispute inaccurate information on your credit report. You have the right to demand these errors be investigated and corrected. Here's the process, and it's crucial you listen closely. You need to pull your credit reports from all three major credit bureaus: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Don't rely on those free credit score websites. You need the official reports. Again, rsrlinks.com/FICO. rsrlinks.com/FICO. Go through each report with a fine-tooth comb. Highlight every single error, no matter how small. Then write a formal dispute letter to each credit bureau. Be specific. State exactly what the error is and why it's incorrect, and provide any supporting documentation you have. This could include payment confirmations, bank statements, or anything that proves your case. Send your letters certified mail, return receipt requested, so you have proof that they received it. The credit bureaus have 30 days to investigate your dispute. If they find the information is indeed inaccurate, they must remove it or correct it. Now, here's the catch. The process can be time-consuming and frustrating. The credit bureaus aren't always cooperative. They may try to brush you off or ignore your dispute. That's where having a professional on your side can make all the difference. As a certified liability advisor, I've seen firsthand how these errors can derail people's financial plans. I've helped countless individuals navigate this complex process, get those errors removed, and get their credit back on track. I understand the stress and frustration you're going through. I know how important it is to have a clean credit report, especially when you're trying to buy a home or secure your financial future. And that's why I'm here. I'm not just a radio host. I'm your advocate. I'm here to help you take control of your financial destiny. Remember, your credit report is not set in stone. You have the power to challenge inaccuracies and reclaim your financial freedom. If you're dealing with credit report errors, don't wait another day. Don't let these mistakes hold you back from achieving your dreams. I am a certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. If you're struggling with credit report errors or would like to learn more about how to manage your debt, please give us a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or go to the website, rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. I can help you remove those inaccuracies or put you in touch with our friends over at Blue Water Credit. Jeff Sipes was on the show, I think last week, and we talked about a lot of these different issues, and even how when you use their service, sometimes their clients are getting paid, because if the bureaus don't do what they're legally responsible for doing, Jeff and his team, the lawyers there, will sue them. and you might get paid. You don't pay anything for the lawyer unless you win. So obviously the lawyer is not going to take the case unless he thinks you're going to win. Just the way the lawyers work. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, what a recession could mean for the housing market. Social Security under pressure, seniors face inflation squeeze, and 4 things to expect from the spring housing market. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Do you own a luxury home or planning to purchase one? If so, your home may be your largest asset, but your mortgage may also be your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team is offering amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates in the 3%, and 15-year rates in the 2s. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com or call me directly. My number is 800-306-1990, licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions. You just need a trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Here's what a recession could mean for the housing market. Recession talk is all over the news, and the odds of recession are rising this year. And that leaves people wondering, what would happen to the housing market if we do go into a recession? Let's take a look at some historical data to show what's happened in housing for each recession going all the way back to the 1980s. A recession does not mean home prices will fall. Many people think that if a recession hits, home prices will fall like they did in 2008, but that was an exception, not the rule. It was the only time we saw such a steep drop in prices, and it hasn't happened since. In fact, according to data from CoreLogic, in 4 of the last 6 recessions, home prices actually went up. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feeds, you are seeing a chart of what a recession does. And a recession does not mean falling prices. 1980, home prices up 6.1%. 81 up 3.5%. 1991 down 1.9%. Not a whole lot there. 2001 up 6.6%. 2008, that was the biggie. That was an anomaly just because it wasn't a recession that caused home prices to go down. It was home prices that caused a recession, down 19.7. 2020, home prices were up 6%. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, don't assume a recession will lead to a crash in home prices. The data simply doesn't support that idea. Instead, home prices usually follow whatever trajectory they're already on. And right now, nationally, home prices are still rising at a more normal pace. Mortgage rates typically decline during a recession. While home prices tend to stay on their current path, mortgage rates usually drop during economic slowdowns. Again, looking at data from the last 6 recessions, mortgage rates fell each time. 1980, they were down. Every one down 4.25%. 81, they were down 5%. 91, they were down 2.25%. 2001, down a little under 1%. 2008, down 1.13%, and 2020, down 1%. So a recession means mortgage rates could decline based on the data. While that would help with affordability, don't expect the return to a 3% rate. Now, again, just remember, we've got the tool to help you get ready for these rate reductions, because don't tell anybody. It's just between you and me. I'm going to tell you our forecast of when we think interest rates are going to really go. How about late June, maybe the early in the third quarter? Just a little forecast right there. That's kind of what we're thinking. But now's the time to get ready. Bottom line, the answer to the recession question is still unknown, but the odds have gone up. But that doesn't mean you have to wonder about the impact on the housing market. Historical data tells us what usually happens. When you hear talk about a possible recession, what concerns or questions come to your mind about buying or selling a home? Let me know. Send me a direct message. Send me a smoke signal. Put a question here in the chat window. We do look at all of that. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let's see. I think we got time. We're good on time. We got plenty of time. Maybe I won't even go over today, Josh. Well, we got a lot of time to even figure that out, right? Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by GetHomeselect.com. GetHomeselect.com. That is our Borrow Smart. Social Security under pressure. Seniors face inflation squeeze. Really? Let's see. Ron Siegel Radio, your trusted source for navigating the complexity of home ownership, retirement planning, and achieving financial well-being. Today, we're diving into a critical issue affecting many of our listeners, particularly those in or near retirement. Social Security and the cost of living adjustments, also known as COLAs. You know, Social Security is a cornerstone of retirement for millions of Americans. Those regular payments are essential for covering living expenses, but there's a growing concern that these benefits are not keeping pace with the real cost seniors face every day. Let's talk about how Social Security benefits are adjusted for the past 50 years. These adjustments have been tied to something called the CPIW. That's a consumer price index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. It's a measure of inflation that looks at the change in prices for a basket of goods and services that these workers typically buy. Each year, Social Security benefits are adjusted based on how much that basket of goods and services has increased in price. Now, on the surface, that sounds reasonable. Inflation goes up, benefits go up. But here's where the problem lies. Many financial advisors, seniors themselves, are saying that the CPIW doesn't accurately reflect the spending patterns of older Americans. Think about it. What are the biggest expenses for most retirees? Things like food, gas, rent, insurance, energy, and especially healthcare. And these non-negotiable costs, as one advisor called them, have often been increasing at a much faster rate than the general inflation rate measured by the CPIW. For example, let's look at Medicare Part B premiums. These are a significant healthcare expense for many seniors, and in 2025, those premiums increased at more than twice the rate of the Social Security COLA. This is a huge problem because those Part B premiums are often deducted directly from Social Security checks. So even when there's a cost of living increase, seniors can end up seeing very little, if any, increase in their actual take-home pay. In some cases, the checks can even go down. That's not just healthcare. Advisor reporting that their clients are seeing significant increases in other essential costs like home insurance. One advisor mentioned a client whose premium jumped by a whopping 20%. Ow! This all leads to a growing sense that Social Security COLAs are out of touch with reality. As another advisor put it, we see costs increasing by far more than a few percent per year, with local minimum wage jumping, insurance costs skyrocketing, stubborn gas prices, housing prices, and mortgage-related expenses remaining elevated. Costs are rising much faster than supplemental Social Security COLA adjustments. So, what's the solution? Well, some experts believe that changing the inflation measure used to calculate COLAs could make a big difference. They suggest using the CPIE, which is an inflation measure specifically designed to track the spending patterns of older Americans. Wow, why would you want to use something that tracks the people that you're dealing with? In fact, in 2025, the CPIE showed a 3% year-over-year increase compared to the CPIW. If Social Security adjustments were based on the CPIE, the COLA this year would have been higher. Now, it's not a perfect solution. The CPIE doesn't always outpace the CPIW. It has lagged behind in some years, but over the long term, advocates argue that would provide a more accurate reflection of seniors' expenses and lead to larger benefit increases. For example, since 1999, the CPIE has increased more than the CPIW. That would translate to a significant difference in monthly benefits for retirees. Of course, switching to the CPIE is not simple. It would require an act of Congress. It also would likely increase the cost of Social Security over time. That makes it a politically challenging issue. Legislation was introduced to make this change, but it did not move forward. Even if the CPIE were adopted, there's another fundamental problem with the way COLAs work. They're based on past inflation. Adjustments are only made once a year, while prices, especially essentials like food, housing, and medical care, can change much more frequently. So by the time a COLA increase kicks in, retirees may have already been dealing with the higher costs for months, creating the feeling that Social Security is always playing catch up. Now, what can you do about this? Well, financial advisors emphasize that Social Security should be just one component of a comprehensive retirement income strategy. It's critical to have a diversified income streams and a solid financial plan in place. But, and this is a big but, for those retirees who rely heavily on solely on Social Security, these COLA shortfalls create a very difficult situation. As one advisor bluntly put it, I don't think there's any way to help address this with seniors that is factual. The seniors are living the reality, and advisors can help them budget better, invest better in inflationary environments, and hopefully counsel them through this tough time. But the reality is that the COLA adjustments are not representative of real inflation. This is where strategic debt management becomes crucial. High levels of debt can exacerbate the challenges posed by inadequate Social Security increases. It's essential to minimize liabilities and optimize your financial position to navigate these economic pressures. This is a complex issue with no easy answers, but it's vital to be informed and proactive. Understanding the limitations of Social Security COLAs is the first step in taking control of your financial future. And that's where I come in. I am a certified liability advisor, CLA, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. If you're concerned about how inflation and Social Security adjustments might impact your retirement plans, I can help you develop a personalized strategy to manage your debt, optimize your finances, and secure your long-term financial well-being. Don't let debt derail your retirement goals. Give my office a call today. We'll set up a consultation, review your specific situation, and create a plan to help you thrive no matter what the economic climate throws your way. Call us 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Take control of your financial future today. That is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by GetHomeSelect.com, GetHomeSelect.com. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, why pre-approval is more important than ever this spring, and buyers have more negotiation power. Here's how to use it. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less? All without having to spend more each month than you spend right now. Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
Are you a military veteran, first responder, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, then you're a Ron Siegel VIP hero and you may qualify for rewards up to $5,000 to $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with a Ron Siegel Radio partner. As a valued VIP hero, you receive special savings, rebates, and valuable discounts. Learn more by calling me, Ron Siegel, at 1-800-306-1990 or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. It's just our way of saying thank you.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today, being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. 4 things to expect from the spring housing market. Spring is in full swing, and the housing market is picking up along with it. And if you've been wondering whether now is the right time to buy or sell, here's the inside scoop on why this spring may be a great time to make your move. Number 1, there are more homes for sale. After a long stretch of tight inventory, the inventory of homes for sale is up by 27.5% compared to this time last year. Looking at the graph and follow the green line for 2025, you can see even though inventory levels still haven't returned to pre-pandemic norms, that number is higher than it has been going into the spring market over the past few years. There are more homes for sale than in recent years. Buyers, this means you have more choices and you can be more selective. Sellers, with more homes available than in recent years, you're more likely to find what you're looking for when you move. And knowing that inventory is still below more normal levels means there will be demand for your home when you sell it too. Number 2, home price growth is moderating. As inventory grows, the pace of home price growth is slowing down, and that will continue into the spring market. This is because prices are driven by supply and demand. When there are more homes for sale, buyers have more options, so there's less competition for each house. Rising supply and less buyer competition causes price growth to slow, but it should still remain positive in most markets. Freddie Mac says, quote, in 2025, we expect the pace of home price appreciation to moderate from the levels seen in 2024 while still maintaining a positive trajectory, unquote. And while prices aren't dropping at the national level, every market is different. Some areas are seeing stronger price growth, while others are cooling off or even seeing some price declines. Buyers, the slower pace of growth means prices aren't rising quickly as before, and that's a relief. Any home you buy now is likely to appreciate in value over time, helping you build equity. Sellers, while prices are still rising, you might need to adjust your expectations. Overpricing your house in a more balanced market could mean it takes longer to sell. Pricing your house competitively is going to be attracting more offers. Number 3, mortgage rates are stabilizing. One of the biggest hurdles for buyers over the past couple of years has been high, volatile mortgage rates. But there's some good news. Overall, they've stabilized in recent weeks and have even declined a bit since the beginning of this year. And while that decrease hasn't been a big drop, stabilizing mortgage rates has helped make buying a home a bit more predictable. According to Selma Hepp, chief economist at CoreLogic, with the spring home buying season upon us, the recent improvements in mortgage rates may help invite home buyers back into the market. Buyers, when mortgage rates are more stable, it's easier to plan ahead because you have a better idea of what your future might be. But remember, rates will continue to be volatile. So lean on your agent and your lender to make sure you know what the latest mortgage rate means for you. Sellers, slightly lower rates are starting to stabilize and are encouraging more buyers to move forward with their plans. That's good for demand when you're planning to sell your house. Number 4, more buyers are returning. With more inventory, slowing growth, price growth, and stabilizing mortgage rates, buyers are gaining confidence and coming back into the market. Demand is picking up, and data from Mortgage Bankers Association, MBA, shows an increase in mortgage applications compared to the start of the year. And again, you can see the growth of the mortgage applications have risen this year. Buyers acting sooner rather than later could be a smart move before your competition heats up even more. Sellers, great news for you. More buyers mean a better chance of selling your house quickly. Bottom line, Do you have questions about what the spring market means for you? Let's connect and talk about how to craft your plan this season. With more homes for sale, slowing price growth, and stabilizing mortgage rates, how will this impact your decision to buy or sell this spring? That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. I think that we do have time for another segment. Josh says yes, so we're off and running. Real-Time Real Estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Why pre-approval is more important than ever this spring. And I'm going to tell you, go one step further. Our friends at Geneva Financial, pre-underwrite is better than the pre-approval. Spring is here, and so is the busiest season in real estate. More buyers are looking for homes, which means more competition for you. If you want to put yourself in the best position to buy, there's one step you can't afford to skip, and that's getting pre-approved for a mortgage. Some buyers think they can wait until they've found a home they love before talking to a lender. But in a season where homes can sell fast, that's a risky move. Getting pre-approved before you start your search is much better, you bet. Here's what you need to know about this early step in the buying process. What is pre-approval? It gives you a sense of how much a lender is willing to let you borrow for your home loan. To determine that number, a lender starts by looking at your financial history. Here are some of the things that can have an impact according to Yahoo Finance. Your debt-to-income ratio is how much money you owe divided by how much money you make. Usually you can borrow more if you have a lower debt-to-income ratio. Your income and employment status are looking to verify you have a steady income coming in. That way they feel confident in your ability to repay the loan. Your credit score. If your score is higher, you may qualify to borrow more. Your payment history. Do you consistently pay your bills on time? Lenders want to know you're not a risky borrower. After their review, you'll get approval letter showing what you can borrow. Having this peace of mind is a big deal. It helps you feel a lot more confident in your ability to get a home loan, and the fringe benefit is that you can also speed up the road to closing day because the lender will already have a lot of your information. The pre-underwrite takes it one step further. All you need is a property, clear title, and appraisal in some instances. It helps to figure out your budget. Spring is a competitive season and emotions can run high if you find yourself up against other buyers. Having a firm budget in mind is so important. You don't want to get too attached and end up maxing out what you can borrow. As Freddie Mac explains, quote, keep in mind that the loan amount in the pre-approval letter is the lender's maximum offer. Ultimately, you should only borrow an amount you're comfortable prepaying, unquote. Sometimes we put the exact amount that you're making your offer for as well, just because the realtors don't want to show their hand. So use this time to really buckle down on your numbers and be sure to factor in other homeownership costs like property taxes, insurance, and maybe even homeowners association fees, so you know what you can afford comfortably. Then partner with your local agent to tailor your search to homes that match your needs. That way, you don't fall in love with a house that's out of your financial comfort zone. And we can help you anywhere in the sound of our voice find great real estate agents that understand this. It helps your offer stand out during the busy season. Spring buyers aren't just competing for homes, they're competing for the seller's attention too. And a pre-approval letter can help you stand out by showing sellers you've already gone through a financial check. Zillow explains it like this, quote, having a pre-approval letter handy while you're shopping for a home can also help you act quickly once you've found a home you love. The letter shows potential sellers that you're a serious buyer who has the financial means to close on the home. In a competitive market, an offer with pre-approval letter or a pre-underwrite attached will stand out among offers that don't include one, increasing the chances of your offer being accepted, unquote. That means when sellers are choosing among multiple offers, yours could rise to the top simply because you've already gone the extra mile. And here's one final tip. After you receive your letter, avoid switching jobs, applying for new credit cards or other loans, co-signing for loans, or moving money in and out of savings. That's because any changes to your finances can affect your pre-approved status. Bottom line, if you're thinking about buying a home this spring, getting pre-approved should be the first move. It'll help you understand your budget, show sellers you're serious, and keep you from falling in love with a house that's out of reach. Give us a call to get started. Again, all you have to do is go to our mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app, and you can get started right there. What's your plan to stand out in this competitive market? Give me a call again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. To be sure you're fully ready to buy. That is the Real-Time Real Estate segment, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. And as always, we ask that radio preset, that first radio preset button, to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.